Hello, lovely people. Happy Friday Eve. It's Thursday, March 2nd. I'm Coy Wire, and we are so grateful that you're spending part of your day with us right here on CNN 10. Let's start today with the latest reporting on the origins of COVID-19. It's been nearly 3 years since the pandemic began, and we're still trying to figure out answers about how exactly this virus was able to infect so many people and take so many lives. Reporting this week states that with, quote, low confidence, the U.S. Department of Energy and the director of the FBI endorse a lab leak theory, meaning the virus accidentally escaped from a lab in Wuhan, China. Low confidence, according to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, generally means that the information is scant, questionable, or very fragmented, or that the intelligence community has significant concerns about the sources. One of the main reasons that there is so much uncertainty about the virus's origins is that China has not been transparent and willing to communicate openly with their knowledge and information. Now, others within the U.S. intelligence community and many scientists maintain, however, that this virus developed naturally in animals and then started to spread to humans in an outbreak at a market. Republicans in the House of Representatives on a COVID subcommittee are committed to investigating the issue and finding the origin of the virus. Here's CNN Chief Investigative Correspondent Pamela Brown with more.
More than 3 years after the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, the theory that the virus originated from a lab in Wuhan, China, in the spotlight. The Department of Energy now saying in an updated classified report that it believes with low confidence that the virus accidentally escaped from a lab. But that theory remains a minority opinion within the U.S. intelligence community.
Some elements of the intelligence community have reached conclusions on one side, some on the other. A number of them have said they just don't have enough information to be sure.
Early in the pandemic, many prominent scientists discredited the so-called lab leak theory. One group writing a letter published in the Lancet Medical Journal saying, "We stand together to strongly condemn conspiracy theories suggesting that COVID-19 does not have a natural origin." But other medical professionals have long refused to rule it out.
These kinds of lab leaks happen all the time, actually. Even here in the United States, we've had mishaps. And in China, the last 6 known outbreaks of SARS-1 have been out of labs.
Even Dr. Anthony Fauci, the longtime director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, agreed it was possible.
It might possibly have been something the Chinese were doing, a virus that they isolated in the wild and were having it in the lab and then somehow it escaped out. I don't think that happened, but I have an open mind.
According to the intelligence community's assessment, first published in 2021, the origins of the virus will remain elusive until China cooperates with global investigations.
Why at this point do you say it's possible, maybe even probable, that the virus came from a lab and accidentally leaked out?
The SARS-CoV-2 virus has an ancestral origin in a type of horseshoe bat that doesn't exist in Wuhan. If this comes from nature, there would have to be some evidence of it coming from nature. Right now, we don't have that evidence.
Now, House Republicans are demanding more information from the State Department, FBI, and DOE on the origins of COVID-19.
I want to make sure that we are readying ourselves for the next pandemic, if we will. And the more we can learn about natural origins and or possible lab leak, then the better off we're going to be.
10-second trivia. An object traveling at a supersonic speed is traveling faster than 200 miles per hour, the speed of light, the speed of sound, or the speed of a hedgehog. Here comes the boom. A supersonic object is traveling faster than the speed of sound. Continuing now with our series on the future of travel, we take to the skies, where one company says that they'll be able to take passengers in planes that fly twice as fast as commercial planes being used today. And that means getting to where you're going twice as fast. But here's the thing, you'd have to be willing to break the sound barrier to do so. And that means you'd be going so fast that the aircraft would create a sonic boom, which according to NASA is as loud as an explosion or thunderclap. Here's CNN business correspondent Rahel Solomon with more.
Planes are a ubiquitous mode of transportation today. They've allowed us to link cities, countries, and continents like never before. But what if we could fly faster and experience more in a way that's also better for the planet.
I believe in a future where more people can go more places more often. I think that life happens in person, that connecting across oceans is incredibly important to our future. I'm Blake Scholl, founder and CEO at Boom Supersonic. The last frontier in air travel was more than half a century ago, when we went from propeller aircraft into the jet age. And it's been a long time since we had a step forward. I think the next frontier is all about making the planet more accessible, about having flights that are faster, more affordable, more convenient, and dramatically more sustainable.
Just under a decade old, Colorado-based startup Boom is working to bring supersonic travel back to the skies.
I started my career as a software engineer, but I've been passionate about aviation since I was a kid, and I never understood as a tech guy why everything in our world was getting faster and better, but our flights weren't.
Commercial supersonic air travel was first realized in the 1970s when Concorde took flight. But after just 27 years, the fleet was retired due to a number of issues, including noise, expensive overhead, and cost-prohibitive tickets.
A supersonic airplane fundamentally is about being able to go very efficiently at very high speed.
Supersonic means flying faster than the speed of sound. According to NASA, typical speeds for these aircraft range from about 1,200 kilometers per hour to about 2,400. These speeds are achievable through powerful engines and a long, lean fuselage design. The downside? Supersonic travel creates a shock wave, or sonic boom, that is loud and disruptive over land, which is why it's only intended for long hauls across oceans.
We're building on a proven foundation and delivering a new capability to passengers that doesn't require a massive regulatory change or any regulatory change at all. We've now built XB-1, which is history's first independently developed supersonic jet, and it's going to be in the air here in the next few months to prove that all of this technology actually works.
XB-1 is Boom's prototype of what will be their first airliner, Overture. According to Scholl, it's expected to be capable of going twice as fast as regular aircraft, therefore nearly halving transit times. Think San Francisco to Tokyo in 6 hours, or New York to Frankfurt in a little over 4. With orders already placed from U.S. carriers American and United, Boom has a sky-high goal to get Overture into service by 2029.
On board the airplane, expect a large, spacious interior and beautiful large windows. As a supersonic airplane actually flies higher, you'll be able to see the skies a deeper blue, actually see the curvature of the Earth. All of that adds up to a machine that can take you across oceans, but at roughly the same cost as flying business class today. Ultimately, our goal is to make supersonic flight available to anybody who flies. There are many challenges we still have left to overcome. What we're doing is complex, it's safety critical, it requires a lot of money. But when I look back to the past, I also see a lot of challenges that we've already overcome. And that gives me encouragement that we will continue to do things that the world says we can't do. Supersonic flight is about making the planet dramatically more accessible. When that happens, I think we will live in a very different, more peaceful, more harmonious, more collaborative future.
And for today's story, getting a 10 out of 10, teamwork makes the dream work. For 2 eagles building. One is in the nest, then another flies in and is like, hey, can you help me with this? Other one's like, what, this stick? And it's like, yeah, can you help me put it over there? Sure, no problem. They pick up the branch and mark it over in perfect rhythm. If I give DJ Nader a beat, he can make them dance. Now, keep in mind, these eagles get to be about 3 feet tall, so their nests can get to be about 6 feet wide. That's wider than a queen-size bed. Well done, my feathery friends. Well, that's about all we have time for today. Thanks to everyone who's reaching out at CoyWire on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. And thanks to everyone showing love on our CNN 10 YouTube page. Northside High School in Jackson, Tennessee. We see you, and we are showing love right back at you. Tomorrow's Friday. Can't wait. Crush it today and go be awesome. I'm CoyWire, and we are CNN 10.